מה הסקייג'ל אמרנו? קודם כל קיץ, הקפיטול, DRV, כן, הבנתי. אוקיי? בסדר, כן, יש לי. DRV, יש לי DRV, זה. So, קפיטול ו-DRV. זה אחרון. זה בסוף. כן, אוקיי. Bruchim Haboim. Welcome to the grand Kinus Hakhel of the many that are assembled here in Beis Chayenu, as well as the Bruchim Haboim to the thousands that are joining throughout the world in the live broadcast of this Kinus Hakhel. In a letter of the Rebbe, in the most recent Hakhel that we were Zeicha, the Rebbe teaches us in a letter of Elul Tavshin Memches, which was towards the end of the year of Hakhel. Memches was the year of Hakhel. The Rebbe calls on utilizing the final days in the month of Elul to make Kinusei Hakhel, and not only ending it there, but also extending it beyond the year of Hakhel. So we have the great schus to follow the Rebbe's directive and making this Kinus Hakhel, grand Kinus Hakhel. We begin with reciting together the Rebbe's kapitel. We call upon two soldiers in Sivas Hashem who are very much part of Hakhel, because the mitzvah of Hakhel, the Torah tells us, is for men, women, and children. Each and every one of them are key players in every Hakhel gathering. We call upon Isaac Spalter, the Rebbe Shliach in Florida, and Levi Yitzchak Kirsch, who will now recite the Rebbe's kapitel. Please follow along.
Shir Lamalis David, Samachti Be'armim Li, Beis Adonai Nelech. Ein Daisai Ragleinu B'Shayach Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim Avinu Yakir Shechor B'Lo Yachtav. Shasham Alu Shvatim Shiftei Eidos Lo Yisrael, Leider T'Shem Adonai. Kisham Ayashvu Kisais Leveis David. Shalosh Shalayim Yerushalayim Yishmayu Hayavayech. Leman Achai V'Reyah Davrana Shalayim Bach. Leman Beis Adonai Eloheinu Avak Shatayv Lach. Yechi Adonai Morenu V'Raveinu Malcham Shiach Leilam Vad. Yechi Adonai Morenu V'Raveinu Malcham Shiach Leilam Vad. Yechi Adonai Morenu V'Raveinu Malcham Shiach Leilam Vad.
Yashikeach, please pay attention to the screens. We will now hear, Hakhel is a time to hear from the Melech, a Sicha Gdesha of the Rebbe.
Legen ein Status Miuchode auf Maschpia sein, als ihnen bechol Mokim Sheheim sollen sich zusammenkleiden und es legen ein Status Miuchode auf Maschpia sein, als Jeden bechol Mokim Sheheim sollen sich zusammenkleiden, die Nanefen Hamasim und bemokim Hamasim und bisman Hamasim, wenn sie Masim zu Maschpia sein, Bishleimus und Kedoros. Allah es kam onheim bei sich allein in sein Schun oder in sein Stott oder in sein Chug, wo hat der Aschpor Miuchodo, soll dort Makil sein. Anoshim betab beifna Mutter, wie wenn geht zu Noshim, eben das Rätsel wegen Anoshim, weil der sich sehr beapoche, und befragt nach Anoshim, wenn geht zu Anoshim, und Noshim, wenn geht zu Noshim, wie Kajisi Bose, und erzählen sie unheimlich von Ayinisch als Mann glauben mit Apostel von Tere, wie es wird erzählt wegen Mitzvahs Hakhel. Und dann sie einmal und ein zweites Mal und mit Yusuf al-Hatere und mit Divri Tere und mit Dvar Hawaii zu Aloch al-Pi Aloches Hatere und mit Dvorim Ayisim in Alev bis auf ihre Nähe rechet Pomi. Bemeile mit Gilusse, a viel Asamere Giles was schon geworden bei ihm Ateva, tut noch mehr und hat in der Ruf Feiche der Broch Bichas Hashem.
As we just heard from the Rebbe, the Matarda, the purpose of a gathering of Hakhel is Hashgacha Pratis. The Hakhel is following yesterday that we heard and we learned in the Torah the mitzvah of Hakhel. L'man yishmu, l'man yilmedu v'yaros Hashem alekeichem. Tonight when you hear from the Rabbanim and those who will share words of inspiration, the point of it is that we take home a message, we internalize it so that we can live with a heightened awareness of liyira as Hashem alekeichem. We now have the great privilege to call upon the Menal of Tzirei Agudas Chabad HaMerkazis, Yeshiv Rosh of Siyum HaRambam HaYolami. We take the opportunity, b'shem, all of Anash, here and all over, who are tuning in to the Slichas here in the Rebbe's Shul, to give tremendous Yashakeach to Rav Reb Shmuel Menachem Mendel Butman for his herzige Slichas, and we wish him Arichas Yom V'Shalom Tevis to continue inspiring us. Sai mit Tfilis and sai mit Divrei Yeseiris, Harav Butman.
Thank you very much for all the organizers for such a wonderful, wonderful Hakhel. And this Hakhel may have something special because mentioned in our liturgy on Yom Kippur, Tunile, we say a special prayer, and we say the Beinu Shalom, and we want you to answer us. Avul kifon oyem, because the day is already setting. It's already the end of the day, so you can't push it off. You have to give us achsim and agmachsim eteva immediately. There is no time to push it off. This Hakhel takes place on the last week of the year. Friday night, in Yom Hashem, we are ushering in a new year. That year is not going to be the year of Hakhel. This is the year of Hakhel. So therefore, today we say the Beinu Shalom, you got to do the great Hakhel now, immediately. Avul kefon oyem, the year is coming to an end, and Friday night we are ushering in a new year. Interesting, Rabbi Say, from this bima, and we should see it again in Yom Hashem, there was a Verbringen on the Shabbos of Parshas Vayakhel, Tovshin Nun Beis. Now, Parshas Vayakhel, Tovshin Nun Beis, many of us who were here figured it's another Shabbos that the Rebbe is Verbringen. The Rebbe was Verbringen last week, and the week before, and the week before, and the week before. So the Rebbe is Verbringen Shabbos, Parshas Vayakhel, Tovshin Nun Beis. There was something different on that Shabbos. The Rebbe mentioned that Shabbos something that he did not mention in all the years of Nesius. And that is, he said that Avesenu, Nesienu, never went to Eretz HaKodesh. The Rebbe never said that. And the only time that the previous Rebbe went to Eretz HaKodesh in 1929 is because he wrote that he wants to go to the Mikemes Hakdeshim like in Lubavitch, and now he cannot, so therefore he's going to Eretz HaKodesh. That's the only time the Rebbe ever mentioned it. And this was Shabbos Parshas Vayakhel. Sunday was dollars, and Monday was Chov Zayin Oder Rishon. Chassidim say that there was a miracle with the Sikha that week. That week, that Sunday, before the Rebbe went to the Ehel, the Rebbe was Magia, a Teichen Kotzer of the Sikha. As a matter of fact, this is not something you have to take with Emunah. It's printed in Sefer HaSichas Tovshin Nun Beis. And not only that, it's printed generally, all the Sichas are printed in 2 columns. This Sikha, of about a page and a half, is printed in 1 column. Sefer HaSichas Tovshin Nun Beis, Shabbos Parshas Vayakhel. The very end of that Sikha, and you can check it for yourself, is the Posuk, Hinini Mevi'esom Me'eretz Tzofein, V'kibatzti Miyalkesi Oretz, Bom Ivelu Fiseach Hodov Yeledes Yachdov, Kol Godel Yoshuvu Heino. When you read it, there's a question that comes to your mind. Tovshin Nun Beis was not Ashnas Hakhel. You heard the Sikha from the Rebbe of Memches. Memches was Ashnas Hakhel. The year after, Nun Hey was Ashnas Hakhel. Nun Beis was not Ashnas Hakhel. And the Rebbe ends, it's printed, you can see it, with this Pasuk, called Godil Yoshuvu Heino, which is a Hakhel Pasuk. Now the Rebbe doesn't have to ask us which Pasuk he should end. Nevertheless, there's a question here. Maybe the answer is, and if Farbringen was right here on this bima, that we figured that Parshas Vayakhel Nun Beis is another Farbringen, a Farbringen like any other Farbringen. The Rebbe Farbringen last week and the week before. The Rebbe knew different. The Rebbe knew that this is the Farbringen where we're going to see and hear the Rebbe, and it's going to take a little while after that where we can see and hear the Rebbe soon to start again by a declaration. What is he going to reach with his administration? And his declaration is that he will bring Mashiach Tzidkenu B'Peil Mamash. These were the Rebbe's words. Now it's this Shabbos Parshas Vayakhel, and we're still in Golus. And what's looking for next week and the week after doesn't look like very, like we're going out immediately. So there's a shaila. What happened with this promise? So the Rebbe is telling us in this Farbringen, Kol Godel Yoshuvu Heino. The ultimate Moshiach is Hakhel. Why is the ultimate Moshiach in Hakhel? I want to tell you a secret. Yet we learned in Chitas this week about the Pasuk of Hakhel. Hakhel hu Anoshim ve'ataf. You heard it before, Leman Yishmu, Leman Yilmadu. I want to tell you something. That Hakhel that says in Chumash never took place. I know you're going to ask a question. How can you say that? It said in Chumash, Hakhel hu Anoshim ve'ataf. How can you say it never took place? Rabbi Zaydat, Hakhel never took place. All Jewish men, women, and children were never in Yerushalayim until now. You can ask me why? The Rebbe says you should learn the Rambam. The Rambam says in Ilches Chagigi, I believe it's in the 3rd Perik, that there are 11 elements of people that are potur from Hakhel. 11 elements. The Rambam was a Mesudar. He gave you a number and everything. Among them, an old man. He's 99 years old. He lives in Ashkelon. He's even chuyev to go to Yerushalayim for Hakhel. The Rambam says he's exempt. What if he's a zokein or the yochel leilech beraglov? He can't walk. He is lame. He's lame. He can't walk. Is he mechuyev to go to Yerushalayim for Hakhel? The Rambam says he is not. A woman lives in Kfar Chabad, and Baruch Hashem, she has to give birth to a child today. Is she mechuyev to go today to Hakhel to Yerushalayim? The Rambam says she's not. What if the person Achmon al-Islam is blind? Is he mechuyev to go to Hakhel? The Rambam says not. In this pasuk, Hineni Mevi Eso Me'eretz Tzofein, you have some of those elements that are potter from Hakhel. Bom Iver, if it is a person who is blind, Until now, he's spotted from Hakhel. Now he's going to be mechuyev in Hakhel, because when Mashiach comes, and he's coming now, everyone will be able to see. All the blind will be able to see. Everybody will have a refuah. Upiseach, someone who can't walk, today is spotted from Hakhel. However, when Mashiach comes, and he's coming now, and he will have a refuah shleima, he will be chayav in Hakhel. Therefore, the Hakhel that says in the Chumash, that you should be Hakhel on all Jewish men, women, and children did not take place yet, because there were always elderly people, there were always people who couldn't walk, there were always women who had to give birth to a child, there are always people who were blind, so therefore that Hakhel never took place. So the Hakhel of Chumash is going to take place now. So therefore, when the Rebbe mentions the posik of Hakhel, he is talking about the ultimate coming of Mashiach, where it's going to be Hakhel now of all Jewish men and all Jewish women and all Jewish children. Every year, Rabbi Say, and we remember it from that bima over there, Im Yot Hashem soon to start again. On Simchas Torah, the Rebbe davened in a siddur and a machzor together. So the Rebbe would open his machzor to the Haftarah of the second day, not the first day of Rosh Hashanah, that's the Haftarah of Chanukah, the Haftarah of the second day of Rosh Hashanah. And he would say, Hineni mevi esom me'eretz tzofein v'kibatztim miyarkesei oretz bom iveru fiseach horov v'yeledes yachdov kol godel yoshuvu heino. Gesundheit und Freilichkeit, Tekef und Miyad Mamish.
Yashikeach Gadol and Rav Butman, we take this opportunity to express Hakaras Hatev to all the wonderful individuals who took upon themselves to organize these Hakhels in recent months, and including today's. Rabbi Yonason Hackner, and Rav Tamim Reb Shmuel Butler, Mazel Tov and his recent Chasana, and the Tmimim who are devoted in Ibigigem to the Rebbe's in Yonim B'chol Leiv and Nefesh, Atamim Mendel Gerlitzky, and Meir Meisha Altman. Yashikeach to the Gaboyim of 770 who have assisted in the organization of it. And today's Hakhel was also partially sponsored, Leili Nishmas, Reb Tzvi Elimelech ben Meisha Aren, whose yahrzeit is today. In Tafshin Memches, as mentioned earlier, the Rebbe is already in Chai Elul, calling on us not only to maximize the completion of the year in the highest climax, to see that we utilize every opportunity of the year of Hakhel to make gatherings, to inspire each other. But the Rebbe is already calling in Elul to recognize that it doesn't end in the year of Hakhel. Hakhel is meant to extend, and in the Rebbe's words of that letter, B'yeser se'eis u'b'yeser oz. In the English translation of the letter, which perhaps was also seen by the Rebbe writes, proper continuity in the new year on a substantially greater and higher level. Because in Yiddishkeit, everything is Meilim B'Kodesh. We can't just suffice by saying it was a wonderful year of Hakhel, and it was a wonderful year. The Rebbe also calls on us to look back and make a cheshbon nefesh of the year. If we all think about the Hakhels that happened this year, we will see that every one of them was with tremendous hatzlacha here in the Shechunah. A wonderful, amazing Hakhel organized in the beginning of the year on Sukkot. The miracle of miracles, a pouring rain, and yet Anoshim, Noshim, V'taf sat through a wonderful, amazing Hakhel experience. Rav Butman, who we just heard from, made a wonderful Siyam Rambam on Eastern Parkway in the spirit of Hakhel, which was also tremendous hatzlacha. And if we are honest with ourselves, we see that Hakhel has a very special bracha of the Rebbe, that it should be with hatzlacha beyond our wildest imaginations. We were zeicha shluchim in Borough Park to have 3 grand gatherings in the spirit of Hakhel, and each one of them, we weren't sure, will it work, will it not, and they turned out to be beyond our wildest imaginations on Sukkot. A grand Hakhel, 20,000 people, a Siyam Rambam, a Lag Beimer, and we all can see that whatever we do following the Rebbe's Hiroz is crowned with a tremendous bracha beyond our wildest imaginations. And the Rebbe says, when you think about that, make a resolve to continue this spirit of Hakhel in the coming year. Everyone, Anoshim, Noshim, V'taf. And we'll soon hear from the Rabbanim. But now we'll hear a special presentation for the children, how they can do Hakhel in their world, in their reality. Your attention to the screens.
Welcome, boys and girls, to the Grand Kinus Hakhel in 770. Here's a Rebbe video presentation made especially for you. Please sit respectfully and listen to the Dvar Hashem from the Melech.
Hey, what are you doing, Shalom?
I am trying to set my alarm for 5:50.
So early?
Yeah, there's slichas, and I don't want to miss it. I am trying to choose an alarm clock ringer sound. There are so many choices. Can you help me choose one? Here, listen. This one is called Crocus.
No, it's not loud enough. Definitely won't get you up.
This is called Daisy.
Too quiet too. Is that your watch?
No, that's the next alarm sound. It's called Feverfew.
No, too quiet. Let's hear another one.
Okay, here's the next one.
Whoa, that will sure get you out of bed. What is that?
Sounds like trumpets, no? It's called Reveille.
Oh, Reveille. That's the army bugles waking the soldiers up.
What's a bugle?
A trumpet. They blew bugles to wake the soldiers up in the army.
Oh wow, it's really, alarming. Let's hear the Reveille again. That would definitely get me up if I was in the army. You know, it's like a trumpet blasting. It reminds me of the shofar.
Verbunden mit Chodesh Elul, was not wie man der Mond früher mit der Sechet getan, ist jeder Tag bloßt man damals Schäfer, was a Schäfer setzt man sich, wie sie fühlt sich in jeder Zove, in jeder Armee, ist da a Bügel, was man hebt an dem Tag durch den was man bloßt, gedei aufzuwecken, die was gehören zu der Armee, Mischinossen, Kizu Jeschene mit dem Master, sollen aufgehabt werden von Schlaf. Und der Mann sagt, und durchfühlen sich den ganzen Tag, wie man darf sich fühlen sein, die in der Nebischen Armee.
Well, that's exactly it. We learned that a shofar is the Tzivz Hashem Reveille.
You mean it's supposed to tell us, wake up your sleepyheads, get up and out of bed, do the right thing now and show your Yetzer Tov's power? All day long, remember the shofar song?
Too bad there isn't a shofar ringtone. Toot, 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 toot.
Yeah, the shofar gets my neshama up. It makes me think of Rosh Hashanah. And right away I say, oops, am I ready? Better make a good achlata now. The trumpets will have to do for now though.
Okay, I'm setting the alarm. Okay, it says your alarm was set for 8 hours and 10 minutes from now.
Okay, a gute Nacht. Shema Yisrael.
Gute Nacht. See you at 5:50.
Ta, can I make Kiddush for everyone this week? I learned all the right things to say for special Rosh Hashanah Kiddush in school.
Mati Tzadikul, you aren't bar mitzvah, so you don't have the chiyuv of Kiddush. Since I'm over bar mitzvah, I need to make it for everyone else. But you can make it for yourself right after me.
Doch jedu, wie die Gmorre sagt, wenn man kam und man käme, wie scheich ist zu sagen, Achiv, auf Dadike, auf Ktani, was lei gier, li klau mitzvah ist.
Okay, Ta.
It's time. Everyone, let's help Mommy clear up. Get your shoes on and off we go. We have such a schus. We get to help other Yidden do the mitzvah of hearing the shofar on Rosh Hashanah.
Can I ask the next person if they're Jewish?
Sure, Shainale. Just make sure to be very respectful.
Hi, how are you? Today is the Jewish holiday of Rosh Hashanah. Are you Jewish? Would you like to hear the shofar?
Oh, sure, honey. Yes, I am. Why, thank you. What a darling. I'd love to hear the shofar. Wow, it's been ages since I heard it last.
Wonderful. Have a sweet new year.
Ta, can I blow shofar for the next person?
Moti, you can't. You're not mechuyev in the mitzvah of shofar because you're not bar mitzvah. So you can't do the mitzvah for someone else, but you can ask the next person if they'd like to hear. How about that?
Okay.
Ta, I have a question.
Yes?
Well, if Lottie and I are not bar and bas mitzvah and we aren't really mechayev, obligated in mitzvahs, how come you always tell us to come to Yom Messiah and that it's our job to get people to do all the mitzvahs and bring Mashiach?
Yeah. How come I can't make kiddush for people or blow shofar for them, but I can go around and ask them to do mitzvahs?
Good question, Kinderlach. I love when you ask such smart questions. It shows that you're really thinking about things. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvosav, v'tzivanu lishmoya kol shofar. Normally, kids under bar and bas mitzvah aren't obligated in mitzvahs, but there's an exception.
Oh, I know. The mitzvah of eating ice cream for breakfast.
Oh, don't think that's a mitzvah, Mati. More like your personal minhag. Either way, nope. The mitzvah I'm talking about is the mitzvah of helping to put together the Mishkan. Everyone took part in donating the materials to build the Mishkan, even kids.
Wird Moshe Rabbeinu, was Moshe Emes, wird Jerossi Emes, und hat mir gebracht den Chesed von Nidwas, Kol Hoom, wird sagen,
I'd bring my remote control car to, help drive the Kohanim to work.
That's great. That's exactly what Hashem wants, for everyone to be involved in building the Beis HaMikdash.
was kein Tier Lono, sie darf sich sein, Mido kneged Mido na Kele Massimo. Jeder will sich, mit seinen Kindern und Pislach-Kinder, Hasidim lehivolet, sollen kommen und sehen Mashiach Tzidkenu und sehen der Beis HaMikdash wenn käme.
And when we go on Messiah, that's just what we're doing. We're bringing Mashiach closer, helping to build the Beis HaMikdash brick by brick.
So what are we waiting for? I see some more people over there. Let's go see if they're Jewish. I want to do a mitzvah. That's my job after all, doing whatever I can to bring Mashiach today.
The Rebbe encourages that we should, in the month of Elul, when we get together, we should blow the shofar. Rav Levi Matasov will blow the shofar now for this Kinus Hakhel. There is matbeyas being given out for tzedakah, and all the children are receiving lollipops. Let's make sure to make a bracha loud and clear. Yashikeach. It's also an opportune time to join everyone together in wishing everyone here Eis HaShiyeshne Pei, Eis HaShenenu Pei, Yidden the world over, with a ksiva, v'chasima teva, shana teva, mesuka, and that ikir eshnas, geula v'yeshua, with his galus, take it from Yad Mamish. Talking about extending the year of Hakhel is something that we all have to internalize, anoshim, noshim, v'taf, men, women, and children, to see how can we take the energy, the empowerment of this year, and take it, like the Rebbe says, to a whole new level, b'yeser se'eis, or b'yeser uz. And there's multiple ideas that we can all think about. A number of suggestions came up, and we'll just share very briefly some practical takeaways of achlotas tevis that we can all make. And the Rebbe says, what's a farbrengen? A farbrengen is where we don't only speak about wonderful ideas, but we internalize them and bring it to pale mamish into action. One of the inyanim that's Bashgacha Prat is happening simultaneously with this Kinus Hakhel is a grand Siyum Sefer Torah of the Unity Sefer Torah of Klal Yisrael in Montreal, Canada. And it's a time to reflect that in recent months, thousands upon thousands of letters in the Sefer Torah were sold to many, many families, men, women, and children. Now is an opportunity we all want to make achlata to make sure that our families, every one of our children, are signed up with Asis and Sefer Torah, as well as to inspire others. UnityLetter.com is a website where you can do it. There's also Tzetlach here in the back of 770, where you can find forms to sign up for the Sefer Torah. Another inyan is the idea of Tahalucha. Tahalucha is, in essence, a Hakhel. When we go on Tahalucha, we're gathering people, we're inspiring them with a word of Chassidus. And we all know how dear and precious Tahalucha is to the Rebbe, so much so that the Rebbe said, Mivtzayim is practically a din Shulchan Aruch. Tahalucha, this is my shlichus. The Rebbe takes tremendous interest in everyone going on Tahalucha. Now we're approaching Yontif. Is a special time where we all want to make achlata. And this is negeya for men, women, and children, because the men need the encouragement of their wives and the support while they go on Tahalucha, and the children can join in. And going to every shul where you go and bringing simchas hachag, bringing a message of chassidus to inspire and to uplift, this is a hakel in every sense of the word. We all want to strengthen our commitment in Tahalucha, and it's not only the one who's going to speak, but everyone who goes to a shul and is misameach is a key player in the Tahalucha. You are bringing tremendous simcha, and I will share, I've heard from a number of shuls, that the difference whether they will have hakafis and simchas Torah, and it will be of meaning and purpose and simcha, is only when the Lubavitchers come. Countless messages, right, left, and center. So this is another way we can resolve to enhance our commitment in going on Tahalucha. We now have the great privilege to hear from the Mother de Asra, Chaver Abezn Tzedek of the Shchunas Kansiva Avayas Abracha, Harav Reb Yosef Yeshaya Broin, the Mother de Asra.
Hinei matoiv umanoim sheves achem gam yochad. Standing here at the end of the year of Hakhel in the Mokum of 770, Mokum Hamikdash de La'asid, and definitely our minds are focused right now on how the mitzvah of Hakhel was fulfilled in the Beis Hamikdash was just as noisy then with all the little kindlach, Kenai Nahada, and Nashim V'taf, and we definitely deserve a tremendous deal of gratitude to those who organized this beautiful Hakhel and many other Hakhels. At the close, the conclusion of the year of Hakhel, something comes to mind over here, and I just want to shed some light on this for a couple of moments, a couple of brief moments. In the year of Hakhel Tavshin Memches, we noticed that when the Rebbe was shaking the Daled Minim by Hallel, he did something different. Something noticeably different than what he has done before, and different than the traditional Chabad minig as recorded by the Rebbe in Sefer HaManhagim. And what we've noticed was that unlike all other years, where the Rebbe would normally only take the esrig with the lulav, when it came to time to shake the Daled Minim, during that year the Rebbe held the esrig and lulav throughout the entire Hallel. It was astonishing, surprising, shocking, but our surprise did not last for very long, because several days later the Rebbe spoke about the fact that he wanted to do something which was extremely difficult for him, to show how Hakhel is important. Although this is something that this is the way the Frierdiker Rebbe has done it, and the Rebbe's hiskashrus to the Frierdiker Rebbe, to his father-in-law, we know is exemplary. Hakhel is so serious, the achdus of all the Daled Minim of the Lulav and Esrig, and Daled Minim amongst Klal Yisrael, that even if it touches in areas which potentially might affect our hiskashrus. I'm aware of a story, and some people will say the story never happened, but that's not relevant right now, that someone once asked the Rebbe about making an Eruv. I'm only using this as a mashal. I don't want to focus on that specifically. And the Rebbe said that we see a strange thing, that today's day and age, in every community where they try to make an Eruv, it creates machlokas. Eruv is supposed to bring about achdus. It's a mitzvah. You're making it a bracha. And the purpose of the mitzvah is for darkei shalom. And instead we see it creates machlokas. Sometimes we can actually use out Hakhel in a way that it creates a machlokas. We're doing a positive thing, we're doing an achdus thing, but in the achdus thing, the Yetzer Hara comes in and tries to create division, dissension, and differences between people. As the expression often is, achdus keneged me, we're getting together against who? We have to be conscious of this idea that when we are talking about achdus and about Hakhel, the Hakhel has to be in such a way, chas v'shalom, that a certain yid should be excluded. And even if we feel that we're engaging in a mitzvah, if the mitzvah is going to affect something